Hello and welcome to LeaseLowdown, bringing you articles, news and trusted car reviews most of the time. This week though, in light of the recent jaw-dropping conclusion of Game of Thrones Season 7, we are going to spice things up. For this new YouTube series, we've thought about what cars each of the main characters in Game of Thrones would drive if they were alive today, based on their history, tendencies and preferences in the show. Now would be a good time to throw in a quick spoiler alert, as various plots in the show so far will be revealed, so if you're not up to date or are planning to watch the show in future, turn away now. We'll be doing this series on a house by house basis, kicking things off with the not so popular Lannisters, so stay tuned to see what we think the blonde haired lions would ride, except for each other of course. Firstly, we have Tywin Lannister. Commonly known as the Great or Old Lion, Tywin lived a wealthy life with many experiences and no small amount of hard work to elevate his family's status. Having served as hand to both the Mad King Aerys and his grandson Joffrey, as well as being a proven battle commander and politician, Tywin's experiences developed him into a highly intelligent and wise tactician. His legacy and the family name meant everything to him, and obtaining power was his ultimate goal, but he understood that keeping a low profile where possible was important to that end. True power doesn't need to be advertised, as our good friend Denzel demonstrates in this iconic scene from American Gangster.
You understand? You're too loud, you're making too much noise. Look at me. The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. I told you that.
He took the crown while you hid under Castle Rock!
You're a fool if you believe he's the most powerful man in Westeros.
A treasonous statement. Joffrey is king.
You really think a crown gives you power?
With that in mind, we think the head of the Lannister family would be driving a Jaguar XJR if he were alive today. We see him in something powerful performance-wise, but subtle and sophisticated in design. The XJR is stupidly powerful with 542 brake horsepower, classy and luxurious on the inside, and not too flashy on the outside. It says, "I've got money and power, but I don't need to prove it." We did consider other options like the Mercedes S500L, Audi A8L, BMW 760Li and Rolls-Royce Ghost, but we concluded that they draw a little too much attention, plus the Jag matches Tywin's mature character. We're sure he'd go for a saloon though, to travel with his children where necessary and just in case he fancied being chauffeured around every now and again. Next we have Cersei, commonly known as an evil incestuous mother piece of with a massive Cersei may well be the most evil character to hit our screens since the black and white era. Like her father, she loves the Lannister name and her children, as well as power, power and more power, and you can bet she'd do just about anything to obtain it. Keeping herself locked up in the Red Keep most of the time and looking down on those of lesser status, we think that she, and not Tywin, would sit nicely in a Rolls-Royce Ghost, being chauffeured around by none other than her 10-ton, undead, bald-head, zombie-eyed bodyguard, Sir Gregor, as we don't think she'd shy away from a little extravagance, especially now being Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. With tinted windows, she wouldn't have to be seen by anyone outside the car, nor greet anyone that she didn't want to. There'd be plenty of luxury inside for her to hold private meetings on the move to discuss how she could eradicate her enemies, not to mention there's more than enough power under the mountain's foot to carry them away to safety in the event of an attack. Moving on, we have many people's favourite, Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion hasn't exactly had an easy life. Being a dwarf and the cause of his mother's death at birth made his father despise him, leaving him to linger in the shadows of his brother Jaime. As a Lannister though, great things were expected nonetheless by Tyrion's own admission to Jon Snowgarian.
Alas, I was born a Lannister of Casterly Rock. Things are expected of me. My brother has his sword, and I have my mind, and a mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone. That's why I read so much Jon Snow.
So instead of physical training, Tyrion found comfort in training of the mind, making him an incredibly intelligent individual. Now serving as hand to Daenerys, we've seen Tyrion's wisdom develop, and we know that he's a realist and strategist through and through, with logic and forethought being his primary focus. As a result of all this, we think his vehicle preferences would be something large to make up for his physical shortcomings, as well as something with high safety, comfort and efficiency ratings. With that in mind, we've chosen the Volvo XC60 crossover. Volvos have always been synonymous with safety, and the XC60 is no exception, with a host of safety tech, including danger recognition sensors all around the car and autonomous takeover in the event that those sensors go off. The XC60 is a big car, adding some road presence, but not so big that it attracts attention or be difficult for Tyrion to manoeuvre. It's also efficient, practical and very plush on the inside. Here's hoping Gendry could make Tyrion some suitable pedal extenders. And finally we have Jaime Lannister. Jaime is arguably one of the most interesting characters in Game of Thrones. The transition from fans hating to loving Jaime as they get to know the real Kingslayer has been fantastic to witness over the seasons. Whether it was the absence of his right hand or the epiphany that his sister is an evil, conniving, incestuous mother piece of with a massive Jaime seems to have become a much humbler guy. That said, he's still retained his cheeky wit and charming persona, and few will deny that he's a pretty handsome specimen. When you combine that with his Lannister status, we think he'd want something bold, something pretty, and something everyone else wants, which is why we've chosen the incredibly beautiful Aston Martin Vanquish S. As with all Lannisters, money isn't an issue, and this beast catches pretty much every eye it passes, so why wouldn't a member of the Kingsguard want to ride round in it? Not to mention, rather fittingly, it has the heart of a lion with its 6-litre V12 engine. Plus, whilst the Vanquish S isn't the most protective of vehicles, you can be sure it'd make a swift escape in the event of danger, and doubtless Qyburn could make the exhaust spit wildfire when necessary to eradicate enemies in pursuit. So there you have it, our pick of the main Lannister cars if they were real people living in 2017. Whilst Jaime and Cersei's children are technically Lannisters, we'll stick to their birth names and file them under Baratheon for a video to come in future. Do you agree with our thoughts? If not, let us know what cars you think these Lannisters would drive in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, follow LeaseLowdown on social media, and of course visit leaselowdown.co.uk for more automotive content, which you might want to do ahead of the next LeaseLowdown Game of Thrones video talking you through our thoughts on the Starks' modern day cars. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.